Hi, everyone. Welcome to Meetup with MeLa. I am MeLa, the host of Meetup with MeLa. The host of Meetup with MeLa, Melissa Warnock. Today, I am here with my couples edition, part of our relationship series for the month of February. So we are so excited to have 3 couples with us today. And it's going to be so exciting because we're going to be talking about different things, doing some trivia and having some fun. Hopefully, celebrating these 3 couples and getting to know them a little bit more, and hopefully getting some information in terms of what success they've had as couples to date, and hopefully so we can take a little bit from all that. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to start by having you introduce yourselves. So we have 3 couples today. We have Debbie and Paul, Susan and Diane, and Jamie and Jason. So thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate everything. As always, I want to just let you guys know you can always follow Meetup with MeLa on the Meetup with MeLa Facebook page, Instagram, and all of the episodes are on YouTube under the Meetup with MeLa channel. So thanks again so much for being here. So I'd like to start out. And if we can go around, and I just want you guys to introduce yourselves, just let us know how have you met, how long have you been married for, and any other information that you'd like to throw in at this time. Can we start with Debbie and Paul?
Hi, I'm Debbie. Well, we actually met in the 1st grade, and we sat in alphabetical order all the way through till we graduated from high school. And everybody thought we were a couple, but we were just friends until after high school. And so we got married at 19, and we've been together for 43 years.
Congratulations. That's very exciting.
I said at 10 years old, I'm going to marry that girl.
Oh, Paul, you were like a guy after my own heart, because definitely knew what you wanted. And no, definitely, that is so exciting. So definitely, so welcome so much. And how long have you actually been married for?
43 years.
43 years. Okay, congratulations, and thanks so much for being here. Okay, great. And our next couple, Jamie and Jason. Could you introduce yourselves?
I'm Jamie.
I'm Jason.
And we have been together for, it'll be 6 years. Married
16? Okay.
So we've been together for 16 years. We met when we were teenagers. I was 13, maybe. We knew.
Wow.
We had like
Mutual
friends. And we started when I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
And then we got married in 2012. So we've been married for 8 years. It'll be 9 years. And we have 3 children. Yeah, you can hear one in the background. So a 20-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 7-month-old.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of gaps, I know.
Yeah.
They could use a babysitter. Definitely. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Looking for babysitters always. No, definitely. Congratulations. And thank you so much, both of you, for being here. I think it will be a fun show. Thank you. And then next, if we could have Susan and Diane introduce yourselves.
Our favorite people.
I'm Diane. I'm Sue.
Hi, Sue.
So we've been together 26 years.
Wow.
I met Susan when my partner at the time decided to bring her home because she kind of liked her, and you see how that worked for her. So here we are 26 years later, happy, married, no kids.
And how long have you been married for?
Since 2013, that's when
7.
we could get married.
Okay.
Because we had to wait.
Okay. And do you want to talk a little bit more about like why you had to wait, Suzanne and Diane? Susan and Diane? Sorry, Sue.
Oh,
Because
the mattress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't get married before then.
All right. Well, I'm so happy
And
that
they just passed
were
it.
able to get married. Okay. And definitely. So did you have like a lot of like hoops to jump through when you decided to get married, or was pretty easy once marriage was legal in Rhode Island?
No, it was very easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had to go to the city hall, get our license, and then got married.
Happy.
Well, congratulations. I'm definitely excited you guys are here as well. And thank you so much. So thank you. And actually, Diane actually referred Debbie and Paul to this podcast. So we're very excited. We definitely have some common threads here, and we're definitely very excited about that. So what we're going to do is we are going to start out with our first game. And what it is going to be is the Newlywed Game. So the traditional Newlywed Game. So everybody has papers in front of them. And basically, I'm just going to ask you to use a paper. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask a question. The question will also be on the bottom of the screen, so you can refer to it at any time. You're going to write the answer, but you're also going to write your own personal answer. And then when it's time, you're going to show your paper, okay? So try not to cheat. I know you guys are close together in this, but try
No looking.
podcast.
Yeah, oh, I see a looky-loo right there.
Proctoring it. I'm going to be looking very closely. But basically what we're going to do is, obviously we have three amazing couples here that obviously haven't met each other yesterday. They've all, have all different range of time periods that they've met and been married. So, but I think we will actually be surprised at some of the information today, and it's just supposed to be fun. And one of the couples that ends up winning the end, whoever gets the most points, will be the Meetup with MeLa couple of 2021. So our Valentine's couple. So we're really excited to see how that goes. So basically, get your paper and your markers ready. And so the first question is, what is your spouse's favorite food? So in big letters, you're going to write their favorite food, but on the bottom of your paper, you're going to write your favorite food, just so we can see if it matches up. Okay.
We had pencils ready, not markers. So.
I'm done.
Okay.
It's easy. This one's easy.
Yeah, let's see how long you spouses have been together for a while. So
Can I ask a clarifying question?
yeah, sure.
It's like their favorite food that like you cook at home, or a favorite food like outside of?
In general, just in general. Yes.
Okay.
I'm on board with this.
Yes, we will see. We will see. But very exciting. This will be good.
Keep it clean, Paul.
I did.
All right. And just give me the thumbs up, each couple, when you are ready. Okay. Debbie and Paul are ready. Diane and Susan are ready. Jamie and Jason are ready. They better not be cheating. You guys, okay, you're good. Okay. Better not be cheating over there. I'm looking. Looking. Okay. All right. So everyone, let us see. So let's start with Debbie and Paul. If you want to flip over your papers or tell us what you can. Actually, I don't think we can read them. So
I don't know.
we'll take your.
We don't have markers. We only have pens.
Okay. Debbie said pizza.
Oh.
And lobster. Okay. So let's see. Can you guys verify? Did you guys get it right?
I wrote pizza for him and seafood for me.
Okay. What did you put, Paul?
Lobster burger.
Lobster for me.
Okay. So did you guys get it right or no?
The seafood part, yes, but
Okay,
not the.
okay,
I
so-
said pizza. He said burger, so it was half.
Okay. All right. So give yourselves a point there.
Okay.
I'm going to write it down. Okay. And what about Diane and Susan? What are your answers? So what did you say, Susan, for what is Diane's favorite food?
Steak.
Okay. And Diane, what is your favorite food?
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Ah!
I thought it was beer. I was
Yeah.
wrong.
And Diane, what did you put for Susan's favorite food?
Veal palm. Oh,
Okay. And what is your favorite food, Susan?
fish. I would say seafood.
Okay, all right. It seemed like okay. Well, that was a nice first try. Everyone's just getting warmed up. And what about Jamie and Jason? So, Jason, what did you put for Jamie's favorite food?
I put seafood for her.
Okay. And Jamie, what did you put on your sheet as your favorite food?
Mexican.
That's new. You should just.
I love Mexican
Oh.
food.
Really.
I love tacos, burrito, all of that.
And then what about Jamie? What did you put for Jason's favorite food?
I put spaghetti and meatballs.
Okay. What is it, Jason?
Pasta.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys get a point. Great. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next question. Get your next sheet ready. What would you say your spouse would say is their best physical feature? So what would your spouse say is their best physical feature? And make sure you write down your favorite physical feature of yourself too.
Oh, okay. Then you rate your own.
Yep, write your own on the bottom so then we can verify.
Okay.
Okay, and thumbs up when you guys are ready.
I am. I don't know. I think he's still working.
Okay.
Come on, Paul.
All right,
Keep
I'm
up
done.
here.
Maybe he's got a lot of
Podcast.
favorite physical features. Okay. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And we're going to start out again with Debbie and Paul. So, Debbie, what would you say Paul thinks his best physical feature is?
His handsome face.
Okay. And Paul, what did you say?
I said my legs because she just
Oh, I
always.
do love the fur on his legs, but that's me. That's not his opinion.
Okay. Paul, what would you say, Debbie, her
She
favorite?
has the most beautiful eyes on the planet Earth.
Okay.
That's
And what did you
nice.
put?
I said smile.
Okay. Well,
That's
sorry.
a zero.
That's a zero. But it sounds
That's
like
a
you
zero
guys have
for
a lot
us.
to like about each other. So that's
She
exciting.
does have the most beautiful eyes on the planet Earth.
Yes, that's very sweet. And when Debbie, when you're finally back up here again, and everything is safe and we're in the clear, we'll have to all get together. So,
Oh yeah. Well, we've
Like
already had
eagle's
it,
eyes.
so I've already been giving antibodies, plasma antibodies. So
okay,
we're good to go for a while.
good to mingle.
Few more
Okay,
months, yeah.
okay,
Just
great.
so you know, Diane and Sue, we're safe.
I never believed that.
Yeah.
You are far from safe,
So,
but you're fun.
it's like-
So are you. We got to meet these other three guys on this side.
Mhm. Definitely, yes, exactly. And so, starting with you, Diane, what would you say is Susan's best physical feature? What does she think her best physical feature is?
Her smile.
Okay. And what did you put, Susan, for yourself?
Eyes.
Okay. Well,
Do you know me? It's me.
Can we switch partners for this
My
answer?
eyes.
I know, I was gonna say. Okay. Don't worry. This is just the beginning.
I thought you would say eyes. I was going to say smile. Okay.
What
Hey,
happened?
we'll give some
26 years.
conversation. It will be some conversation later on. You guys will have plenty of things to talk about later in terms of likes and everything. And then what did you put, Susan, for Diane? What would she say is her best physical feature?
Her smile.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what did you put, Diane?
My laugh.
Oh.
Well, we're gonna give you a half a point for that
Paul
one.
and I are going to weigh in and tell you Diane's best physical feature is her boobs.
I know.
They're beautiful. She showed them to
Seen them up
everyone.
close.
I've never seen them. Diane, how come I never saw him at work or anything?
You missed the
Well, I don't know, you
entertainment
get
part of
some?
this.
Don't do it.
Do it.
It will be banned on YouTube. Do not do it.
No.
I'll have to check off the
Well, we
explicit.
can attest they're lovely.
Yeah,
You're very quirky.
That's another podcast.
definitely. And I'm charging for that one for sure.
You should.
Definitely.
I don't have footage. It's just
Yeah.
word of mouth.
Thank God.
Oh,
I've seen it from my kitchen.
No, Jason and Jamie. So Jamie, starting out, what would you say Jason thinks is his best physical feature?
His eyes.
Okay. And what did you put, Jason?
She got it right.
Oh, so what was that? What?
No,
You looked like you were disappointed. Oh, good job. Oh,
Okay. And then
I thought
Jason,
Gigi.
what do you think her best physical feature
you
is?
gave it away.
I would think her smile, but she says her boobs.
Okay.
And Jamie, what did you put down as your best physical feature?
I put my lips.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, you did
I
get
like
1
that.
point out of it. That was
That's
great.
cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that was great. All right, let's do
Yeah.
one more. Okay, so let's see. Okay, this is actually one that you're going to want a same answer for. Where was your first date as a couple?
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's
Oh.
tough, Melissa.
First date?
Okay.
I think I know that one.
And it could even be, even if it wasn't like, let's see, I don't know, it could be like, even if like, say for some reason, like, well, let's see how we do it, I guess. Let's see how we do. I'm not going to say anything yet.
My house.
I don't know.
Hey, it looks like there might be
Okay.
cheating going on there.
No, I'm
Diane
just
and
like
Susan.
totally blank.
He's cheating.
We're old. It was so long ago.
Okay, you know what? Do you guys want a different question instead?
No, let's see.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
like that different one. I
Well,
don't remember.
I
I don't
think it's a different one, but I just.
Oh, you were a lot younger than us. Go ahead, Jason. Oh, you already know. Yeah, we don't. We're too old. We don't
what was
remember.
it, Newport Creamery?
All right,
Who
give him a
asked you
point
out?
for that.
They get it.
We'll give you a point.
Only reason why I remember
Point.
that is because
Because I don't remember.
it was a crazy
All right, well-
day. She will never forget that.
Okay, well, tell us then. So what happened?
Oh.
Keep it
Oh
clean.
no, keep it clean.
It's not clean.
I mean,
Just know that police were involved.
Oh,
Newport Creamery?
Windows got
that's
busted.
way better than we
Way
could have
better
given
than we
you.
could
Yeah.
ever do.
Windows got busted.
Jason,
Windows got
actually, when
busted.
we first started dating, Jason had a girlfriend.
Oh,
And
I
she
didn't hear
Yeah.
that.
followed me. She followed me after the date and broke my windows in my car.
Everybody's video froze.
Mhm.
Look at Janice in the background. She's nodding her head like she's heard about this before.
Diana. Oh, there they go. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody froze for a minute for us.
They
Oh,
win.
did they?
Yeah, that's
they
okay.
win.
We're back.
We're
Okay.
back.
Yeah, you guys
They
win.
win.
Okay. Well, we're not done yet. We're certainly not done yet.
Okay.
Okay, so we're done with this part of we're done with the Newlywed Game. So Jamie and Jason, they're leading strong with 3 points.
Woo-hoo!
Paul and Debbie have 1 point. And Diane and Susan, you guys have a half a point somehow, which we didn't even know we were giving out half a point.
I didn't even know there were halves.
We didn't even know, but someone gave you a half a point in there. But definitely
Just wanted to
great
give it
first round.
something.
Yeah, definitely.
I know,
Yeah,
but that's
that was definitely okay.
Oh,
So
she's
what I
taking
want
off
to
the
do is,
gloves now.
I know everything's coming off, especially if we let Diane.
Diane,
Stay here.
Not everything.
Yeah, not everything. Okay. So what I want to do next is let's talk about, so basically I want to jump to the love languages. So basically you guys took the test from Gary Chapman's love languages. So the quiz basically tells us which way do we best receive love. So, and this could change over time. So basically the love languages, there's 5 different love languages. And what I want to talk about is if you did everyone did the love language test, we're going to see, do the love language match up with what we thought our partner's love language? So actually, if you guys do have a paper and pen in front of you, I am going to show you the love languages and I'll read them off to you. Write down the love language you think that your partner most likely has. So I'm going to project this for us. And okay, so what I'm going to do, let me just take down the banner here. Okay, so the different love languages are as follows. The words of affirmation. So the words of affirmation are how basically people that like to get encouraged, affirmed, want to hear appreciation, listen actively. The other love language is physical touch. So they like nonverbal body language, touch to be to emphasize their love. We also have receiving gifts. So that's the third love language. So loves receiving gifts.
I'm good.
Like,
I know what you want, and I know what I want.
Okay. And then the fourth one is quality time. So uninterrupted and focused conversations, one-on-one time is critical. And the fifth one is acts of service. You use action phrases like I'll help, I want you to know I'm here with you, and I'm partnered with you. And that goes a long way just in terms of showing that you're loved. So what I'd like to do is go around in a group, go around to each of the groups. And if you can, tell us what you think your partner's love language is. And
How do we
also,
go back? How do we go back to the other screen?
Oh, I'm going to get you back there.
Okay.
Hold on one sec.
Okay.
I'm going to get you right back there. Yep, there we go.
Thanks.
Yep, no problem. So we're going to go around. No problem. So we're going to go around, and if you could say what your partner's love language is, and we're first going to start off with Debbie and Paul. So Debbie, what do you think Paul's love language is?
Words of affirmation.
Okay. And Paul, what was your love language?
It was words of affirmation.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, that's great. And Paul, what would you say is Debbie? What did you think Debbie's love language is?
It was physical touch.
Okay. And Debbie, what is your love language?
It's physical touch.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. So were you guys surprised about any of it, or you pretty much like you thought the quiz was actually pretty accurate?
Oh, we're so freaking old. We've been together for so long.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised. Some people don't really know.
You're right.
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes most of the time we give love the way that we want to give love, but we don't really realize how someone else wants to receive it. So great job, guys.
I know how important physical touch is.
Okay.
To my Debbie doll.
And then Debbie, and how do you do like words of affirmation in terms of Paul? I'm a words of affirmation person too, Paul. So we've got that in common.
So what is important to him or to me? Because
like what is important? So how do you show Debbie like that Paul needs words of affirmation? How do you like go about making sure he knows that he's loved in that way?
Just to tell him how much what his actions are, how much they move me and protect me and make me feel stronger and more loved, and how his actions affect our 4 sons and our grandchildren, and I don't know what else to say.
No, that's amazing.
He's perfect in my eyes. So.
No, he's not perfect.
My eyes.
Yes. No, definitely. No, that's beautiful. No, thank you so much for sharing that. Okay. And so I am going to move to Diane and Susan. So Diane, what did you think that Susan's love language was?
No, I forgot what they were.
That's okay. It's words of affirmation, acts of service.
She likes the words of affirmation.
Okay. And Susan, was that your love language, words of affirmation?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Great job, Diane. And we're giving you a point. You guys have a 1.5 points over there on that box.
A whole point?
Yeah, a whole point. Yeah, a whole point this time. And then Diane, what do you think that I'm sorry, Susan, what do you think Diane's love language is?
Touch.
Okay. And Diane, is that
physical.
Oh, physical touch. Okay. Yeah. And Diane, was that your love language?
No, of course not. Acts of service. I like it when she does things for me. She's always doing things for me.
Oh,
Do you
so
know
that's
me?
cool.
I don't know you. No, I don't.
I think I
Well,
love
you know
Paul.
what? Now
Paul,
you
can you
know.
be my boyfriend?
You do like talk.
Yes, I do.
And language.
Well, the
Okay.
good thing is now you know. Now you know. Now you know. So
Yeah, 26 years later. Great
hey, you know what?
timing, Melissa.
It keeps things interesting, that's for sure. All right. Now we are moving on to Jamie and Jason.
Yeah, sorry in advance. Our background is loud. It's the only way we
Okay.
can get through this thing.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
And so, Jamie, what do you think Jason's love language is?
I think it's physical touch.
Okay, Jason, what is it? What is it?
Words of affirmation.
Jamie! He needs to hear it.
It's a little
Okay.
of both. It's a little
Yep.
of both. Like
Yeah.
when I did the test, like the physical touch was just a slight percentage underneath.
That's how, yeah. And you'll find that it does come in layers. So mine is words of affirmation with acts of service right underneath it. So I need to hear it, but I also need to see it. So Jason, what did you think that Jamie's love language is?
Acts of service.
Okay, and what is it, Jamie?
Acts of service.
Woo, good job. You guys get a point. You guys are still in the lead there. You guys might make it as Meetup with MeLa's couple, Valentine's couple of the year. Okay. So if we could just go around, I'm gonna unmute everyone here. If we could just go around, what would you guys say you think has been the most important part of like just getting like through your relationship, sticking together during the hard times? And what would you recommend to couples in the future, especially couples that are just starting, newlyweds, or even just couples that might be going through a difficult time? What do you feel like has sort of gotten you through everything? Do you want to start out, Debbie and Paul?
I would say just being able to verbalize things instead of keeping the hurt or anything behind and keeping it to yourself. You need to just break down and expose your feelings to your mate and tell them, no matter how embarrassing it is or whatever, just let them know. And then you'll find out that you have a common ground.
Okay.
Common ground is critical. Whatever the common ground is, that is the most critical part of any relationship.
Definitely. And what would you say, Susan and Diane?
Talking things out.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to talk about things. You have to work at it. And
Be
no
honest.
cheating, no lying.
Yes.
That's it.
Big with lying.
That's true. Because it almost seems like it's a snowball effect. Like once our partner, cheats or lies and just sometimes it's like, even if it's something small, you start questioning everything. And then that just seems like it can be a complete breakdown. So again, similar to what Debbie and Paul said, like just be honest about it, even if it can be embarrassing or whatever. It's like, at least you're having the conversation and hopefully things can be repaired and fixed. And like you said, Susan and Diane, like communication is key. So Jason and Jamie, what would you guys say, has been what's been able to help you through some difficult times, and what would you recommend for anyone that might be starting out and especially a new marriage?
I would say marriage takes a lot of mental toughness. Okay. For me, this is like the toughest thing I ever did in my life. And the best thing I ever did in my life at the same time. And so marriage is like, I say like the 3 C's and well, that's what I'm about to say. See?
Give him a chance, Jamie. Give him a chance.
Give me a chance. So I'll say the 3 C's and like later in life, like in our marriage, I came up with another. So like commitment, compromising, and communication.
Oh, that's
And the
good.
4th one is consistency. Consistency is
That's
tough.
fabulous.
Yes.
Why didn't we think of that?
I don't know. We're old.
Yeah, so marriage is beautiful, man. And just stick together, family, it's everything's tough, just try to be truthful. Sometimes it's hard to be truthful, like y'all said, like if you don't be truthful, it throws a big barrier in your relationship.
Yes.
So other than
That's
that,
awesome.
yeah,
That's
just
definitely awesome.
Anything to add?
You don't?
No.
He said it all. No, that was
Perfect.
really I think that was really helpful. And I mean, I don't know about you guys. I've never been married, but like, I think the other side of it is too, you grow throughout the experience. So what you probably needed before, especially when you're first getting together, you're dating, and then obviously, you have different priorities and things change. You have to communicate that, things are changing for you and the priorities are changing. And that's why it's important too to realize that the love languages are changing. Sometimes what we needed in the beginning is not necessarily what we need now, and vice versa. So it's just, it's exciting to see that. And it seems like you guys have all really beautiful, unique relationships. And I think that's something that is really exciting for people to see. And that's why I wanted to do the couples podcast today as well. So, so let me just ask you guys as well, like, is it, I don't know, like, do you have any recommendations or do you have even any questions for each other? I want to open it up if you guys have any questions for each other too.
I don't have a question. I'm just going to pass something on that my mother said to me. My mother and father also got married very young. Paul and I were 19 when we got married. And my mother was also that age, my mother and father. And she said that the ability for them to move so young, move away from the family when they first got married and not have that influence of family to tell them who's right, who's wrong, and take sides, and the initial adjustments that couples go through. And she said that to us, and that ended up happening to us, that when we got married, Paul was in the Air Force and we ended up moving, to where he was. And, we were so young, just like my parents were, we were so young that there were constant issues that came up. We were very young. We were very poor. He's in the Air Force. I'm in college, and we had a little baby. So if we had not been so far away from the family influences and friends,
we would not have survived.
We probably wouldn't have survived. But because we were far away from all those other influences, we had
to grow up together.
We had to grow up. We had to make it work. And thank goodness.
Yeah, that's everything.
And it ended up working for us. Not everybody gets married as a teenager, but for us, that made us grow up, and it made us a strong unit.
And it probably sounds like it made you a team too, because you weren't able.
There were 3 of us on that team.
Because we had a baby
and
too.
we had a baby, and I to this day can't tell you how much that baby went through because his parents were children.
Yeah, we were just kids. So anyway.
Okay. No, I really appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. And I think people need to hear that too, because I do think that one of the big things that we do so often in relationships is run and tell everybody like what's going on. And granted, you do need support, but at the same time, it's like, how much of that should you be running to the other person first and then having that conversation? Because that should be the person that you're really trying to establish this with. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to anyone else. You are in the relationship together. So that is definitely really important. Does anyone else have anything else like that, like in terms of just experiences that they've been through, different things and things that like maybe in hindsight that worked or didn't work, or anything to that extent, or just even lessons that you learned as a couple, anything like that?
I learned that Susan doesn't know me.
Leave it to you, Diane. Leave it to you, Diane, to say something.
Right out of the gate. There she goes.
It's couples. You guys always seem like you're having fun though, so I definitely appreciate that. Definitely. What would you say too is like something? One of the questions that I know that I think I maybe mentioned to you or asked you ahead of time is, what do you feel like? What have you been able to take away from the relationship or learn about yourself that you wouldn't have known had you not been in the relationship?
So I know I was a bad communicator when
Yeah.
I first met Sue. I didn't, I would just shut down, walk away, didn't want to talk about it. But I knew that you had to open up and, talk, or else everything just dies if you don't communicate.
So
No, I
did
was a talker. I told her everything.
okay.
And I was very honest.
She still doesn't shut up.
Diane, you're gonna be in so much trouble, and you're not gonna blame the podcast for that. Disclaimer.
Diane
Disclaimer
lives
for
on the
sure.
edge.
Disclaimer for sure. So did you feel like in terms of what you were saying, Diane, in terms of like not being able to communicate or really didn't know how, was it a situation where then Susan was able to sort of show you that, or like how did you sort of develop like, I do need to communicate?
Just relationship wise, I kind of figured it out on my own because she talked all the time. So, I just had to figure out how to communicate with her.
No, great.
She wouldn't be honest. She
Okay.
wouldn't tell me what was going on. I had to read into it.
And how
But
did you
I
deal
just-
with that, Susan? Because that could be, I'm sure
That
that's
was
very
hard.
frustrating.
That was
Yeah,
very hard.
that's
Yes.
and also
It's
I
like
think
pulling
sometimes
teeth.
exactly. Did
She
you
was so
ever like
different.
did you ever like doubt in terms of her commitment? Like, because I think sometimes as like people that are communicators, and I'm certainly a communicator like you are, Susan, in the sense that when someone's not communicating, we're only just guessing, I guess. We're just guessing, like, are they really into this relationship? Are they not? So I don't know, like, what would you say? Was it just one of those things that you were just patient?
I was patient with it because I knew eventually she'll come around.
Okay,
Yes.
great. And then what would you say, Jamin and Jason, do you guys have anything that you felt like in terms of that what you learned about yourselves that you probably wouldn't have if you weren't in this relationship, or you didn't know about yourselves prior to being in a relationship like that, in a marriage?
You got something to say?
You can go.
Well, me, like I've been a person to like hold things in and not express my feelings when I'm mad or something's bothering me. I seem to wait for her to say something to me, then I intervene. I don't know. That's something I still do to this day. And it's something that I have to work on, that I've been working.
Jamie in the background.
Yeah, but you know what? What do they say? Like half of it is just even acknowledging it, right? So it's like, yeah, a good start is acknowledging that.
Sometimes I guess I do silly things, I guess, and I just feel like sometimes I'm just by talking to a few people, like married couples, like men or whatever, and saying, women complain, and complain.
Oh,
But
stop. Okay. Get it.
There's one too many.
Yeah, the 3 complaints were okay. Once you went on to the 4th one, that's gonna get you in trouble every time.
So like I'm just like a happy dude, like you know what I'm saying. I just like to be happy all the time. Like I like try to not to be stressed and not. I'm just happy. And she knows when I'm aggravated because I won't say anything. I just be just quiet myself, because I try to do something silly that she didn't like, but I try to avoid it or whatever. But I'm gonna hear it because she doesn't let nothing slide. Okay.
I let things slide. I would say for me, something that I learned about myself is that I need to like allow myself to be like vulnerable. I don't really allow myself to be vulnerable. I pride myself on being like independent and strong and someone who's able to like balance it all, motherhood, career, all of that. And like sometimes I just need to like allow someone else to take the lead and allow myself to like be vulnerable. And I don't always do that. So I try to be more aware of that. I also like things done like a very particular way, especially when it comes to our kids. Like I don't cut any corners when it comes to our kids. Like I will put everything into my kids. Like my kids come first always. Before career, they come before anything. And I have my way of doing things, and I learned that he has his way of doing things, and it might not be my way, but it's his way. And it works for him, and it works for them. Like, you know, they're okay, but it's just like this way, and he's like, this is the way I do it. And like, you know, sometimes like, okay, like I have to allow him to have his way that he does things with our kids, but like I feel like I have to like let go of some of that sometimes. So I've learned that about myself, that like I can be, I was an only child, so everything was always about me all the time. And so like I have to realize that there are like other ways of doing it. The world doesn't revolve around like Jamie all the time. I have to like allow him to have his way. It doesn't mean I'm not going to say anything. Like I will still say something, but I will
That's where the complain came in.
Crazy about that. Like don't even. I feel like I have to be flexible more. So I've learned.
So lastly, let me ask. Oh, sorry, Paul.
That's all right. I just have one comment, because our grandkids moved in with us when they were very small, and they would say, "Pops, we don't do it that way." I said, "Oh, yes, we do.
In this
house, this is how we do it." Oh, sorry. This is how we do it here.
Sorry.
That is really cute. That is so cute. And how old are your grandkids, Debbie and Paul?
Our grandkids, they all just had a birthday very recently. The oldest is 21. The second turned 20 today. And then the youngest is 14.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday. That's very exciting. Very exciting. What would you say? Do you guys have anything to say, like in terms of couples that are really struggling, have been struggling for a while, things that like, when would you recommend people just sort of say, you know what, maybe there's too much that's gone on here? What would you say is possibly like a deal breaker to determine times that you should absolutely stick together, or times that maybe you just have to go a separate way?
I don't think there's a time for a separate way. If you're committed, you're committed.
I agree. And we were very young, and that comes into play, saying that we were so young, but thankfully for our marriage and our family, we were so far from home that when we had problems, we didn't have anybody else to turn to. I mean, we could make phone calls to parents or friends or whatever, but we basically had to work it through. And now, for our specific marriage, we didn't have cheating or substance abuse or any of those things that I would consider a deal breaker. We didn't have to deal with those. But I think every couple knows where that breaking point is for them.
For them, yes.
That's for them.
Yeah.
And having children, I think, again, puts another topic in there, another layer as to how you grade where that breaking point is. We're lucky that we had a deal with it.
We're very fortunate that we didn't have any of those deal breakers.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. What would you say, Susan?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
I was just gonna say that I think that a deal breaker is when you feel like your morality are on two different paths. So to me, morality is very, very important. And sometimes we don't always align, but that's where the compromise comes in and we're able to find like a middle road. But I think like Jason and I were raised very, very differently. And so what he normal to him is like extreme to me. I would never imagine, you know, some of the things that are normalized in his life. And so sometimes it's like understanding his perspective and being able to be like flexible again to understand like, okay, well, that's how he was raised. There's no ill intent with what he's implying or doing here and understanding that and applying it to the situation. But I think that there comes a time when morality, like my morals might not be like aligned with his, and that would be a deal breaker for me. If like morally, if my moral compass has to be compromised, I'm not willing to do that. Luckily, we haven't run into that. But
yes, Jason, you better stay moral over there. And what would you say, Susan and Diane, to that? Anything that you guys think?
At this point, I don't think there's a deal breaker for us. And I mean, really, we're too damn old to find somebody else anyway. So we might as well just ride it out. Just ride it out, man.
Ride or die at this point, right? Ride or die. Definitely. No, that sounds great. I mean, I definitely appreciate everything that you guys are saying because, again, it really helps. And like just going around, how many people had like, do you feel like your relationship a positive influence or positive role models have really helped you have such a solid relationship? I know, unfortunately, a lot of us don't. I have to say, I didn't have a lot of like role models growing up in terms of solid relationships that I saw that were healthy relationships. So unfortunately, it makes me constantly question, like, you know, I've grown to know what I personally want, but sometimes I don't know, you know, what is healthy conflict, what isn't, and so much we see on the media as well. So how much of, you know, your relationship has been really fostered by having positive role models, even if they're not necessarily parents or people that were, you know, in your family, but even somebody maybe outside of the family that could really be a strong married couple that could really help you and give you some sound advice, similar to what you were saying earlier, Debbie.
I can't tell you, this is Paul. Debbie's father is the most moral human I have ever met on the planet.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt is the most upright, moral human and has meant more to me in my life in 50, 60, whatever many years.
How old are we?
I don't know. I don't know how old we are. But Debbie's father is amazing. He will always be absolutely amazing. The most moral human I've ever met.
Without a doubt. And what I would say is probably the opposite of what you were saying, Melissa, is I think the biggest lessons in my life and our marriage together is what people have taught us what not to do.
That's a great point.
Other than saying, oh, this was my role model, because everybody has their flaws and their good moments, but there are things that we've seen other people do that will say, oh, I will never do that. And I think that was a bigger influence on our raising children and our marriage than anything else, is to learn a lesson from
what not to do.
What not to do.
What not to do. That's a great point. Thank you for saying that. What about anyone else?
Deb and Paul are my role models.
Okay.
I want to be more like Deb and Paul.
Yes, we need to make T-shirts. You guys seem truly like an amazing couple, so definitely. I will definitely sport the T-shirt. And I'll probably come to you guys for advice in the future. So absolutely,
you won't be the only one.
Yeah,
there's a list.
The Debbie and Paul hotline. No, you know, unfortunately, I think, you know, when people are more open about things, and I think the same thing about parenting. Like I've talked about that, you know, before, in the sense like everybody's like, no, it's perfect, no, it's wonderful, and then you start thinking, is there something wrong with me that I'm feeling like this or going through this? And I think the more that we can have honest and open conversations, it really helps other people realize, and find what's the norm for them potentially. So again, we know all relationships are different. Everyone has to have, wants and needs, and everyone has wants, needs, desires, and deal breakers. And you have to make it, mutually what you guys want in that relationship. But at the same time, just having some conversations, like Jason was saying, it is hard work. It is really hard work, but it can also be the most fulfilling thing that you've ever done. The
Go,
biggest
Jason.
accomplishment too. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm sorry, Paul, what did you say?
I just said, go, Jason.
Yeah, go Jason. Go Jason. So what would you say, Jamie and Jason, in terms of like role models and just, I don't know, like in general, like people that you've like, or ways that you may have determined like this is good or this isn't good for us?
Okay.
I was about to say, for me, like, I really haven't been around married couple growing up. Like my mom was married, but
Babe, that
I
doesn't
think
count. That doesn't count.
well, listen, I think it was for the green card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I said it doesn't count.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my best friend's mom, he was married. Well, she was married too. She was They was married for a while, but they ended up breaking up because it was alcoholism, substance abuse. But I really haven't been around married couple like that.
I would say for me, I haven't been around married couples. My parents weren't married. My grandmother was married, but she was separated before I was born. But I would say for me, what has helped me in my relationship is the love that I was shown from a youngster to an adult. And so from my grandmother. So my grandmother was the most non-judgmental. She showed the most unconditional love that you ever asked for. And so I think that has really shaped and just molded me as a person. And it has taught me tolerance and patience and forgiveness. And it has just really shown me what a love without boundaries looks like. She wasn't married, or I didn't have like, a relationship that I was yearning to try to, imitate. I did know love, and I knew what authentic love looked like. And so I know what it feels like to be loved in that way. And so I can therefore give that love to my husband, and I can give that love to my children and my friends. And so I think that has been most influential for me.
That's great. Yeah, that is beautiful, because when you know love and you feel love, you can certainly decide what makes you feel good in terms of what true love is too. So I think that that's great. All different kinds of love. That's definitely the focus of even the relationship series of Meetup with MeLa this month. It's about familiar relationships, our friendships, assessing our relationships with coworkers, not just romantic relationships around Valentine's Day that we traditionally think about, but we have, we've seen good and bad relationships all around, and we should definitely be trying to achieve a level of respect, mutual respect, and care for each other. Because we definitely have a lot more in common than we do differences. And sometimes it's just trying to find, like Paul had said, that common thread. So definitely. So last but not least, I want to open the floor if anyone has any actual last thoughts. If not, we're going to move on to our last trivia, and hopefully we'll see who our Valentine's couple, Meetup with MeLa Valentine's couple is. So does anyone have any last
Jamie
thoughts?
and Jason.
Oh, yes. So
There's no competition here.
well, one thing I wanted to say
there's still one more thing left. There's still one more game left.
Well, one thing I wanted to say is Diane and Susan were there, but for our 40th anniversary, we renewed our vows.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations.
And one of our friends renewed our vows, and she asked for one of our sons to say something.
Okay.
And so one of our sons, he's an English teacher, so he's pretty good with talking.
With words.
And he said things that we had never considered as being important to a child growing up. And then he came back and he told us later that he had his friends that were, it was a full yard, right, Diane? So,
Yes.
and their friends came up and said, I didn't have that. And it was the fact that it was just the way we did it. We did it kind of old fashioned, where I worked part-time so that I didn't have to put my kids in daycare. Now, not everybody has that ability, but that's what I did. So we heard from our own children what things they found were important. And, you know, you don't know when you're raising children, you don't know what makes an impact and what doesn't. You hope everything does, but it doesn't. And so you have to hear, when you're older, you guys, what things actually stuck in their minds. And they were tiny little things that stuck in their minds, that, oh, we had a picnic on the floor, or, you know, tiny little things that you didn't think they would even remember. Little things, little tiny things that made a difference in their lives. And I just,
It was not
surprise.
a dry eye in the house.
It was a surprise for us to hear all those things and then have it backed up by, because our kids are older, they're all grown, and to hear that their friends found that lacking
in their own
homes. And just little things, like I said. But anyway,
no,
it was a surprise. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I think when you hear those things, it makes you realize, you know, not every time everything is perfect, especially as parents, and we're learning our kids constantly. I know my son, he's 21 and he's very different than me. I mean, we definitely have some common factors, but, you know, I'm constantly learning from him. And, you know, you are. I mean, I think our hope is as parents that we're doing the best we can, as partners that we're doing the best we can, and that we're having some lasting effects, because the reason that we're here and we're social beings is because we want to be able to bring and enhance someone else's life, as well as, you know, have that in return. But it's definitely you have to be able to give, and you have to have the capacity to give and care and love deeply. So it sounds like all of you guys have been able to do that, and I certainly respect all of you and celebrate you each as couples, and, you know, wish you all the best. But I think this is a very helpful podcast for us, because there's so many people that, you know, are striving to be, you know, married in a relationship, but sometimes we don't know necessarily, you know, is it easy? Everything it looks easy and romantic and wonderful and fun, you know, especially on movies and TV and everything. But we know there's a lot of work behind what all of you are bringing here today. And we definitely appreciate you sharing that with us. So thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that. I have a last activity. And so basically, talk about couples, talk about like in the movies, like I said. So basically, I am going to project on the screen the couples, some famous couples in movies. And as couples, if you guys can guess them. And okay, so I am going to tally it. I might not be able to, as I'm projecting it, I might not be able to see you. So just basically unmute yourselves. If I'm not recognizing the voice, just say who you are, because I'm going to be tallying it up. So get ready.
Can we confer? Can we confer?
Oh yeah, you do this as a couple. This is definitely a couples activity. You don't have to write anything down either. You can just, when you know it, say it. Okay.
All right.
Can we for a second? We just have to move our son.
Okay, no worries.
Change his environment, and he might come down. 1 second.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
Never mind, he's okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Also,
Poor little guy. All right. So like I said, it's going to be all different movies. Some are from a while ago, and some are more recently. And they're famous, movies and like romantic moments. Okay, romantic couples. Okay. And
We're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're in the trip. That's Jamie.
okay. Jamie. Okay.
hey.
I don't know.
I don't know that one.
Poetic justice.
Yeah.
What is it? No idea.
Okay.
We're losing.
We're almost done. Poetic justice.
Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind.
Go with the wind. Who said it first? Gone with the wind.
Me.
She said it first.
Who is it, Diane or Debbie?
Debbie.
Debbie, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Go back over there.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty woman, yes.
Yeah.
I knew that. I knew Pretty Woman.
Okay.
See the names or the movie?
Just the names of the movie. Just the
All right.
movie name,
Oh,
sorry.
Titanic.
Who got that one?
Jamie.
Oh,
Paul. Replay.
And that was a tie.
Yes,
Yeah.
Titanic.
oh,
Grease.
Grease.
I said it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I see.
Yes.
Save the last dance.
No idea.
Save the last dance.
Save the last dance.
Yep. Save the last dance.
Okay.
Give somebody else a try.
I don't know that.
I don't know that
That
either.
is-
That's Anthony Hopkins. Diana Ross.
I don't know that either.
What is this?
Anthony Hopkins, Diana Ross. I don't know the name.
I have no idea.
I think that's good enough. Whoever said that.
Mahogany.
That's it. Yep.
I didn't know Anthony Hopkins was in Mahogany.
I don't remember him in it either.
That's Bodyguard.
Oh,
Bodyguard. Yep.
Last Tango.
No, not less.
Did,
It's the famous movie. What the hell?
Casablanca.
Yes.
Good job.
Good job, Diane.
was it good?
Monsters. Oh, look at how cute you were as a baby.
I have no idea.
Eddie Murphy and Halle Berry.
Oh,
And the movie is
it's good.
Boomerang.
I
knew that.
About that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Failing miserably.
Shit, I knew that was
I have no idea.
no idea.
Nope. I don't know.
Diner.
That looks like. Nah, I don't know what that is.
Moonlight.
Oh,
That's
I remember
Moonlight?
Moonlight.
Yep. That's
That was in
Moonlight.
Moonlight. Okay.
Oh,
So
Dirty Dancing?
Who said it?
Debbie.
Dirty
It's Ghost.
Oh, Ghost.
Ghost.
That was
I'm sorry.
Diane.
Who said it?
Die.
Me, Debbie.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, Debbie said it. Okay.
Oh.
The old movies I got. Oh.
Space?
I don't know.
Had me at hello. What the hell?
You got it.
Officer and a Gentleman?
No. You had me at
Mask.
hello.
That's not
The
good.
girl, it was her name. It was her name. Bridget,
No, it's not. It's the football one.
oh.
It's the one where
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry was right.
Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, somebody,
I have no idea.
Jerry Maguire was right. Who said that?
You had me at hello.
Jamie or? Oh,
No idea.
Nope.
let's see who that is. I don't know.
I know
who
that's
that
Zendaya, but I don't know what this
That's
is.
the girl from that
Casey
is the girl
Undercover.
from The Greatest Showman.
is.
But I don't know who that
is it-
guy
yeah,
is.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's Zendaya. I don't know who that is.
Yep.
It's a new movie called Malcolm and Marie. It's actually just premiered on Netflix.
Are you
Oh.
torturing us? What are you doing?
Come on.
Couple more left.
I don't recognize them.
Nope.
I can't even see that.
I can't see who they are.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, that
No, we can see it. We can see
We can
it.
see
But
it,
we don't
but
know who it is.
they're too big.
Okay.
It's
It's if Beale Street could talk.
Oh, okay.
Got nothing. Brokeback Mountain.
Yes.
No.
Could have left that for the gay girl.
Oh, Mermaid.
Mermaid.
Who is it?
The Little
Little
Mermaid.
Mermaid.
Somebody said it.
What?
Kid in the background.
We're probably all yelling at the same time, right?
No clue.
Oh, I know who they are, but that's not a movie, is it?
No, it's a movie.
Why did you marry? No,
Why did I get married? Yep.
Gia.
I got
Okay.
a new one coming out.
Medea!
No.
James
Yeah.
Jackson. Go babysit. Go babysit.
This was a movie that came out last year.
I don't
The
know.
photograph.
Recognize it.
The photograph.
Okay.
Okay. And
Okay.
last but not least, let's see if you guys get this one.
Cinderella! Black Cinderella! Miss What's in the left?
Look at the little one in the back. How cute. Look at her Allison. She's so cute.
Definitely. Well, guys, thank you so much. So it is time for me to name the Meetup with MeLa Valentine's couple of 2021 based on the number of points. Drum roll, please. It is Jamie and Jason. Great job. No, that was definitely, I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I really
It was
appreciate you
fun.
coming on here and sharing your experiences. I certainly may call on you in the future, all of you, in terms of, just additional podcasts we might do later on in the year. But thank you all so much for being here. Is the baby coming? Oh, I thought the baby was coming to the podcast. Jason, go get that baby so we can see him. And Janice.
Cutie.
Look
Oh my
at
gosh,
her.
what a pretty baby.
7-month-old
girl in
and a
the back.
7-year-old. Hey, Janice.
Hi.
Hey, hi.
And the baby. And the
Jameson,
new
say hi.
baby.
So
kid.
for all you guys in Rhode Island who are freezing your butts off,
Right? Oh, don't do that. Ooh.
you're in
Yes,
Florida,
palm
you can't feel the
trees.
palm trees, Rick.
I know that's
Yeah.
right.
See from there.
I know that's
Cool
right.
in the palm trees out there. Maybe you can't see them.
Yes. Well,
But
we
it's-
definitely wish we were there with you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you so
Nice.
much. But
One
thank you.
perk of getting old, right?
Yeah. Well, please let us know when you're in the area. I'd love to see you guys, meet you all in person, be able to hug, especially as things die down a little bit. And hopefully we can all stay safe and well. But thank you all so much. And thank you for what you brought today to our couples podcast.
Thank you.
Again,
We'll be back in March, and we've already had COVID, and we have immunity. So
okay.
we're easy to meet with.
Okay. Thanks so much, Debbie and Paul. Thank you
Nice
so
to
much,
meet
Susan
you
and
guys,
Diane.
Jamie
Yes,
and
nice to
Jason,
meet
and
you as
Melissa too.
Yes, thank you. And thank you so much, Jamie and Jason. Congratulations. And keep watching us on Meetup with MeLa.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, look at her cuties.